inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it. Just the way you like it. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When it down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. 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 Going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come blow. I'll keep going 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 till my speakers come blow.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody's looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hit my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Don't you know I got the key? Run this Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it. Just the way you like it. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Checks.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome on in. It is the ESL Challenger League Season 51, Asia Cup #1 Grand Final day. And we are, well, I think already pretty deep into that whole conversation. We've just gotten off the back of doing Oceania, Pilski, and now we're here for a bit of the Asia action, and it'll be CTG and Morningstar that have made their way through to this Grand Final. We can only hope that it will be as good and as climactic as that Oceania final.
Yeah, I had a pretty good game over there in Oceania. I had Ground Zero taking on Thunder Down Under. I mean, the favorite team did win, and I expect much the same here in China. Well, I say China, in Asia. It's felt like China towards the end of this qualifier, at least in the games that we've got to cast, because those are the teams that have made it deep in this particular cup. Things may change in the future, but a similar feeling as that Oceania final, to be honest. Looking at this Asia Cup, I think Morningstar is by far the favorites, but I actually kind of feel like changing the game could make this one interesting, or even have a chance at causing a little bit of an upset here. Yeah,
look, I am hopeful that will be the case, Pilski, but I'm not sure that I necessarily am on board with that. I agree, obviously, that Morningstar are the favorites. I'm really very heavily on the Morningstar hype train. I don't think there's been any surprise to hear me say that if you've been listening to the first couple of days of the broadcast here for Cup #1. Yeah, I just think they're in really, really good form. I think that the team seems to be very cohesive. You've got good star players. You've got across the board people that can step up when it's needed. So, I feel like they've just brought, in general, a much better level than the other teams that we've been seeing. But yeah, you're right in saying that Change the Game did have their moments yesterday, and there was a lot of positives to take away from that game against Last Bullet. And if they do come in and play their best game, I think they will be able to, maybe take a map off of Morningstar. But I've certainly got Morningstar pegged as the inevitable victor of this bracket. We'll see whether or not that proves to be correct. There was a couple of surprising results maybe throughout this lower bracket in particular. I think seeing Chinggis Warriors get knocked out there by Change the Game, it's probably not what you would have expected, but they've gone on to make it to the grand final, so I guess who can really blame them? They also took a loss to Last Bullet, and I think that's tying into what you're sort of saying around the fact that this feels a little bit like ESL Challenger China as opposed to ESL Challenger Asia, at least for this cup, because the Chinese teams have been the ones that have been the most impressive and the most interesting.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So look, we do have the grand final here. It is the difference in terms of VRF points, not to mention the fact that second place is $2,500. If you can win the whole thing, you're going to double your money. $5,000 on offer for the winner of the Asia Cup, which is not too bad considering there's going to be more cups following up this one. A pretty big incentive to get the dub here. Now, the team that's coming through from the lower bracket is Change the Game. We saw them impress quite heavily over in Zowie Extremes LAN, getting themselves a top 4 and in a LAN APAC Asia event. Didn't necessarily have as good of a run over at ZTech Elite Masters play in there, only managing to get themselves in the top 16. But despite the fact that they lost arguably their star player in Zero, this is still a very good core. They have a decently well-rounded map pool, although there's a couple of gaps in there. And look, they play with good structure. I like what I see from Change the Game, and I'm not too surprised to see them continue to have some pretty good results domestically.
Yeah, 100%. In terms of the matchup that they've had historically against the core of this Morningstar roster, we don't get to see it too often, at least in the recorded matches on our side. I'm sure they play scrims and all sorts of Chinese tournaments against one another that aren't necessarily always registered on the Western platforms. But historically speaking, seems to be a little bit 50-50 between these two teams. But that is going back to last year, and like I've said, I feel like Morningstar have really kind of hit the ground running pretty nicely early on in 2026, and that's where I feel like they've really hit that new level. Change the Game were probably on the radar a little bit earlier, but having lost 0 is a pretty dramatic loss. I think it would be in the same capacity or the same conversation as maybe Morningstar losing someone like a Suki, although I know I've been going on about Suki for the last couple of days, Pilski. I don't think he's actually been the standout in these couple of matches that we've seen. We've kind of seen, well, pretty much everybody but Suki actually have a good game. I mean, Rage definitely has been a big standout. Sasiki has done really, really well for himself. So I'm kind of hoping that we do get to see the best of Suki today, just so that, all of this conversation that I've had and all of the storyline that I've been building about Suki being kind of the GOAT, the new guy that I want to see doing really well, isn't for nothing. And, you must be looking at me and thinking, man, does this guy even watch Counter-Strike? Because, I think I've definitely big up Suki, and he's yet to deliver to the level which at least I've maybe put those expectations.
Yeah, so look, we're having a look through the maps and the veto stats, trying to formulate in our head what kind of a veto we are going to get here. Likely that you'll see Duke and Anubis taken out pretty early on, and I think, look, this is the interesting matchup. It's not roll for roll here. I mean, Rage and Procula have been the standouts. I think if you're going to put two riflers head-to-head, it's probably be Procula and Suki to be like the standouts in that regard, but just in terms of best performance so far, yeah, I think Rage has taken the cake, and Procula has definitely filled the massive shoes of 0. Nuke and Overpass go out here early on, and once again, we're going straight down the middle of the map pool. Inferno picked by Change the Game, Mirage gets picked by Morningstar, Ancient going out, interestingly enough, being the middle of the map pool, and of course Anubis won't make it in, we'll go to Dust 2, so a handshake veto of all time between these Chinese teams yet again here, and we'll see which one will take the cake at the end of things.
Yeah, it really is El Clasico, isn't it? Dust 2, Mirage, Inferno. Like, if you could have picked, I don't know, if you could pick 3 maps that people would associate with Counter-Strike, the first one obviously would be Dust 2. I think that will be everyone's first pick. But if you were playing one of those game shows and it was, they've... survey says, you know what I mean? Like that game show where they surveyed 100 people. What is a Counter-Strike map? Dust 2 would be number 1, there's no doubt about that. But I would probably put money on the fact that Mirage and Inferno might be number 2 and number 3 in whichever order, and probably then beyond that, I'd say maybe Nuke would be number 4. So I think we've got the quintessential 3 certainly, and just a question of which of these two teams is going to be looking a little bit better on these two. But Inferno's been a very successful map for CTG of late, so not too surprised to see them picking into that one. The Mirage pick from Morningstar as opposed to the Ancient, I guess, is probably the only question mark that I would have in my head, because Dust 2 seems like it is a bit of a middle ground for these two. So I may be a little bit surprised to see the Ancient not picked there by Morningstar. It had been kind of the go-to in the previous couple of matches that we'd seen for them as well. But nonetheless, I think we'll probably get to see a pretty good game tonight. And again, I'm hoping these two teams will be fairly familiar with one another and are not prepared to pull any punches.
Yeah, I think, you look at Inferno for Change the Game, makes a lot of sense. The Mirage pick for Morningstar, I think, is trying to maybe prey on a little bit of weakness there from Change the Game. They did kind of get smashed by Chinggis Warriors on that map in particular. So you're hoping that you can get yourself a little bit of an easier dub there. Dust 2 is the decider. Have seen Change the Game even pick that at times and look very comfortable on that map. I think over on the side of Morningstar, you're quite happy with it as well. Rage is in fine form and he's going to do a lot of work for you, even though it has been a bit of a hit or miss map for them. Although I feel like a lot of the maps are on the uptick for Morningstar as they get in better and better form. Yes, they have lost some maps on some of these particular picks in the past, but as their form gets better and better and they just continue to kind of skyrocket up the VRS, the map pool's looking better and better and they're getting more dubs on average.
Yeah, who are you looking at on this CTG lineup to really be the one to kind of keep an eye on? I think, initially you just look at the stats and you say, Procula and Hacking are probably the two to, keep your eye poised in the direction. But I think yesterday we saw quite a bit from Vance, and he's actually been the lowest rated player for this team throughout this event. But if he can kind of get going the same way that he did yesterday and put some numbers on the board, then I think he'll be a pretty pivotal player as well.
I think they're a pretty well-rounded team, honestly. I think Vance has peaks and troughs. When he has a pop-off game with the AWP, then he's going to be good for you. He has some pretty good skills, honestly, when he's feeling it. I think Hacking and likes to thereabouts. I think Hacking probably is on a bit better form as of recently. 957, I think the stats don't tell you everything you need to know about him. I think he's just a really annoying player. He puts himself in those like aggro positions. He's buying MP9s, he's running it down. He's always kind of in the harder to play spots. If you see him on an Ancient, he'll be in Cheetah. If you see him on this map, he'll be in Banana, guaranteed. He's just that guy that they want to put in some of those aggressive positions to have impact. And I think he can have some really, really big impact rounds when he's put in those kind of crux positions and he's able to come away with some absolute rubbish. Because he's good for a good, like, miscellaneous push or hiding inside of a smoke or doing some kind of cheeky setup. I love the way he plays. It can be quite entertaining to watch.
I mean, there's a lot to be had in terms of entertainment when it comes to these teams. Interestingly, particularly last night, I felt like changed the game. It was Last Bullet actually changed their playstyle a little bit in comparison to what they played against Morningstar. I felt like they were very, very passive, slow kind of style on that T side when they played against Morningstar, and then they tried to go a little bit quicker when they were playing up against CTG. And I kind of wonder if CTG coming here into this game against Morningstar are going to make any similar sorts of adaptations, whether or not there's maybe some extra degree of respect in the direction of Morningstar than some of the other teams that they will have gone up against. But I suppose that's not going to be something that we're going to have to wait too long to find out, as it was the fact we are getting ready to get underway with the grand final again, bearing in mind this is cup number 1, so it's not the be-all end-all necessarily, but it will go a long way in at least giving yourself a shot to make it through to the next season of ESL Pro League. Obviously VRS points as well to be touched on, and again, with the fact that teams like your Tylus, your Envisions, your Rare Adams are missing, this might be the best opportunity that you're going to get through to those playoffs. So we'll see if they can grab it with both hands as we head into map number 1 here of the grand final between Morningstar and CTG, with CTG kicking things off on the T side of Inferno on their map pick.
Did 12-0 and overall 13-0 on the CT side, and then the T side pistol for Change the Game just yesterday against Last Bullet. This is a map that they looked fantastic on, but they didn't really have to play very much T side, so we'll give the benefit of the doubt to Morningstar. Rage missing the jump spot there. This is an excellent timing for the Glocks to creep up on Bracket side, with the CTs a little unawares as the smoke flies out over onto Moto, and it does seem like they're going to go straight up dig.
Yeah, they've been heard now. Suki and Rage doubled up into Carps. Pro Killer does a 360 onto Rage. Now, it's interesting because obviously you get that kill in Carpets. You don't necessarily expect a second player here. So we'll really be waiting and seeing what Suki can get done. He should be biding his time as much as possible. The rest of the reinforcements, the cohort coming in through from Brackets, will try to take the majority of the engagement. And there is Suki to strike. He's looking for a second in pit, which he desperately needs. He gets that, but nobody else did a damn thing. And so CTG will get that pistol round under their belt.
It seems like a map they continue to just free flow on, seem very comfortable. Great approach on the pistol. Suki baited for quite heavily and only comes away with 2 there. Need a little bit more help from the rest of the lads, as Laxu was dropped out. Saw a couple of these dropouts, throughout this cup so far in Asia. Usually it's only, disconnect for a couple of seconds and then we get straight back into things. Haven't had any super long extended tech pauses. So, look, hold your horses if you're thinking about, tuning out. We'll be back underway in no time.
Yeah. Just one of the quirks of Counter-Strike in Asia, particularly online. You're going to get this a lot. I don't feel it is as bad in 2026 as what it was maybe 5 or 8 years ago, but it's still a bit of a recurring thing. Oh, man. I feel like I've just been talking about Counter-Strike all day long today, which is not necessarily something I'm too mad about. For the uninitiated, we did a podcast earlier on as well. 2.5 hours of talking about Asian Counter-Strike, and then after that, about an hour off, and we went straight into the Oceania final, and then we had about an hour off, and now we're here in the Asia final. So it's it's been since about 3 p.m. almost my time, 3:30 p.m. So let's say 9 hours almost so far of on and off Counter-Strike. We'll probably get another 2 or 3 hours out of this one too. So it's going to be a big day.
Specifically Asian Counter-Strike. Like nobody else talks about Asian Counter-Strike as much as we do. It's just non-stop, eh?
No other moron is going to do that for you. But we will.
We are the dancing monkeys that are here to fill the gaps and do what we love, what we've been doing. I mean, for me, this is my 10th year of doing it. For you, even longer than that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I started full-time in esports in 2016, so it's 10 years full-time, but it's been a couple more on the hobby side as well. So yeah, getting there. Maybe almost 15 years at this point. But either way, it's back into round number 2 here. We'll see what CTG can do in terms of just converting on this round. You do have a little bit of an investment out from Morningstar, so they will have to be a little careful with their business. Exchange of damage from the grenades in Banana. Going back and forth, nothing too substantial, but I suppose CTG coming off a little better. And Rage is going to continue his fine form from the previous couple of days, it would seem, with a nice headshot to start things off for the Scout, and that is going to raise an eyebrow for CTG. They're got themselves a deficit now with a minute left on the clock in the round.
The smoke to block a B here, courtesy of Ruben. Has a counter flash. If Change the Game want to try to force the issue, and that seems like exactly what they're doing here. Another counter flash coming out from Rage. Unfortunately, the play that first Oranges is already being cleaned up, and the Pistols are finding a tough time actually finding any impact. 3-on-3 ensues. Site secured for CTG as they put that bomb down.
Yeah. Smoke's still up, so Rage can't see too much. He might have to be the pivotal player here. Those T's have been tagged down, so the Scout pretty deadly, you'd think. Suki with the MP5 also might not be too shabby. And there's what I'm talking about. Rage, all it takes is a tag or two. He's got a headshot through on Vance, and now they know the last player is at New Box. The MP5 goes down straight away. Pro Killer locks it in with a 4K. Way too close for comfort, though, for CTG.
Very entertaining stuff, though. I mean, this is just the talent that you've got in the sub-top of the Chinese scene. Rage is going crazy with the Scout in that round. Then you've got Pro Killer getting a 4K to be able to win it out for Change the Game from New Box side. The amount of talent on display at the moment is phenomenal to watch. There's never been so many up-and-comers in China to be excited about.
Gonna have to be a save for Morningstar. Slow start for them. This map. Siki having a bit of a crack with that Deagle, but short of a couple of upgraded pistols, there's not really much to work with here for Morningstar, and CTG are aware of that, moving through Banana pretty quickly.
Again, just brute forcing control of Banana with their util and trying to trade down smokes with the B site players, maybe open themselves up a gap later in the round. There's a second wave of utility. A from Spine, not a smoke to block, but still plenty of time to end B later in the round if they want to do it. In fact, it really is just a wave of util to keep them interested. 957 finds an entry to boot. Aggression from the pistoling players. Spine's all the way in second middle, but Pro Killer's already on top of that, so just leaves Suki inside a boiler. Close range with the 5-7. You'd hope he'd be able to put together something or other, but run down by Likes-U. The aim punch was a little bit too much to handle.
Pretty routine start, really, for CTG, isn't it? I mean, got obviously close in that previous round, but reinforcing that with 5 guns alive here. Gonna get you off to a pretty good start. Money will grow pretty exponentially on that T side as well. Early days, but the signs are pretty good for CTG.
A little bit of the monk liqueur in the church there.
Oh yeah, only the finest.
Ruben is fine, just getting themselves a shot before the first gun round here. I think Likes-U's been sipping on that too. That's a messy back 10 spray, but not going to really mind losing that too much, as he probably wants an upgrade anyway. 3-0 for Change the Game. I mean, they just continue their good start that they had yesterday on Inferno. So far, I mean, we're still ticking up undefeated round count in the last couple of Inferno games. I'm wondering how long it's going to keep ticking up, right? They went 13-0 against Last Bullet. Now we're 3-0. We're up to 16-0. Let's keep it going.
That'll be what they'll be thinking for sure. And good chance they can do it here. There's 3 players with no head armor, so the MAC-10 and the Galil still be dangerous weapons in the hands of CTG. Rage gives away the fact that he's got an AWP. Suki challenged here, and that's what I'm talking about. The MAC-10 can go to town. Suki, by the way, had head armor, but he's dealt with anyway. Pro killer for 1 as well. There's a 2 for 2 on the entry, and CTG need a little bit more than that. Ruben may provide, made a lot of noise, but Sharp on the corner gets the better of Laiksu. And now it's about CTG trying to flood their way in onto the site, but the reinforcements on the CT side have arrived, which will make it tough. Despite the fact that there's a couple of low HP players here, you should say this should be around for Morningstar, and it will be.
Big flood into the site. Really well timed from them. Rage hits every shot required of him. Scout or just put a scoped weapon in this guy's hands and he's gold for it. It'd get expensive for Morningstar though, and with the start that they've had, change the game immediately with the reinvestment. So round 5 will be the swing round that will start to tell the tale of how this first half is going to go.
Bit of a back and forth down there at the bottom of Banana, but nothing really coming from it. Get some damage. Nice Nana control initially here for Morningstar. They'll get the resmoke at bottom Nana as well. Pretty early in the round, though, to be investing all of that util, but they do still have smoke. It may be in the hands of Saseki, though, so it's under pressure. Laiksu goes down. Morningstar will maintain control of Banana, and there is that 3rd smoke through, so they really want to hold on to this position.
I mean, yeah, denying the entry for the MAC-10 gives them the space to make use of that utility. You were right, the player at Logs is the player that was front-loading all of that utility, so if he goes down, it's a different story. But as it stands, yeah, change the game, shut out a Banana, a player down. Not a comfortable position to be in, and now creeping up into a fully stacked bracket. Spine, big swing, Rage on the other line towards Dig side. Both of them able to convert on those opportunities, and now we're just continuing the madness, are we? Just swinging into a massive crossfire all across brackets, and it's going very poorly for Change the Game. At least 957 gets one on the way out. He's actually making a little bit of a run of this. Bomb picked up now, but surely this has to end at some point. Ruben barely clinging to life will be cleaned up as well, but Suki will restore order, or picked up as well, and that's 2 in a row for Morningstar to break Change the Game's money.
It just ends up getting a little bit more expensive than you'd have liked it to have there with that death of Ruben. Had he just not swung, I think the result would have been the same, except he would have survived. So, good couple of kills at the back end there from 957 that at least continued to put a bit of that economic pressure on Morningstar. But you're right in saying that the reset has come through for CTG. This will be where Morningstar can look to accelerate their CT side a little bit, build the money back up, and just get a bit more of a stable footing.
Yeah, I think with how the CT side has been looking for a change of game, we saw it at Extremes Land, we saw it in the 13-0 against Last Bullet just yesterday. Their CT side looks very solid on this map, so I think as Morningstar, you want to try to get as many rounds on the defense as you can.
That's a bit of space taken, but Rage is there to do some skeet shooting. Just picks him out of the air. He's looked pretty good so far. I think the AWP today. And there's another pretty decent passage of play. USP doesn't really do him any favors. Ruben here to try to salvage it will also fall. But the damage is really being done. CTG shouldn't be getting too much more out of this round. We'll see what Pro Killer can put together.
I mean, even the 2 kills he's got have done a little bit of damage to the economy. The money's not good on the CT side. AWP thrown out of the map. So it's just being a little bit of a pest with the Deagle, if anything here, Pro Killer. It's the heads up that there could be a player on the site here. You can see him continually just jiggling this mid-site box, and all he needs is the right timing to snap one more head off, and this gets very, very expensive for the CT side indeed. not quite able to do it.
Hmm.
So, look, 3 surviving. I think Morningstar are reasonably happy with that. Rage gets collapsed upon in jungle side and the AWP gets dropped. The second kill in Speedway is probably where it got a little bit more expensive than they would have liked. If Ruben can hold on there, then he can retrieve the AWP. But that's where ProKiller is just something else, man. Like the Deke headshot through the pillar puts him under so much pressure.
Another deep Ghana smoke for CTG to deal with. They go straight through it this time. Rage is waiting. He's missed that quick shot. Oh, flashback on the line. He's happy to just keep taking the fight and looking for even more with the backup of some of the youth getting tossed in his direction. Nade over the top. It's a bit of chip damage under hacking. Rage has had no shortage of opportunities in this round, but they're just not being connected. Still, numbers here at Sandbags are looking good for Morningstar, and they do still have that player advantage thanks to Rage, which will be compounded upon by Sasiki and Spine. It's unbridled aggression from Morningstar and Banana.
Yeah, I mean, ProKiller was looking for a walkout Carps in the meantime, and that got punished as well. Just nothing going right in this round for Change the Game. They're usually so snappy, executing their game plans, changing up the approach. Once again, it's 957 to try to make some exits happen. He's been given a couple of opportunities, a hell of a shot to end for Rage. This guy almost emptied 2 clips of the AWP in 1 round. Only stopped re-peeking when he was forced to because he literally had fired the first 5 bullets of his AWP clip. Even then, you saw him whip out the USP. I thought he was going to keep going. He's in one of those moods right now.
Yeah, it's put CTG back to half by. Half is still very much hanging in the balance. I don't feel like we've got to a position just yet where either team's really gotten on top, but it is trending in that direction for Morningstar. So a lot of that is coming off of the AWP of Rage. 10 and 5. It's been a pivotal performer again for Morningstar.
And Nana control secured for Morningstar yet again. Investing a lot of utility early on. Ruben's got another smoke to follow that up. Just more and more smokes blocking. But regardless, Change the Game. Not going to respect that. They forced their way into brackets. It's not a full commitment, though. They're trying to wrap jungle and go around the world to B. You're already getting a bit of a reaction from Sasiki. He's in CT spawn, already ready to cut these rotates. They've just given up the B side. They've read this so well. They've said, oh, there's 2 arms to the push. Let's just lot one of them off before we get too carried away. And then we could deal with the B here later.
Well, now they're going to have to do that. And to be fair, this is not unwinnable for CTG. I mean, it's a tough one, obviously, but I don't half mind this position from 957 and Likesoo. With low HP players on the other side of this smoke, they've kind of taken the fight in the right direction. 957 is getting away with murder. Vance is in there for one as well. He's picked up the M4. There's a kill for Likesoo, and it only just barely gets saved by Suki. But you could really see that potentially coming together for CTG. Man, that was too close for comfort.
6 HP in it. 957's having a superb game right now. A lot of impact on this team side. Like ProKiller, he had a big clutch. Don't get me wrong, and he's been in on the lurk. But this is what I say about 957. Like, you're gonna always look at 957, and he's never gonna have some crazy impressive scoreline. Like, he's never gonna be, 15 and 6 or something, and you're like, okay, this guy's owning, But he's always like doing well, and when he has above average kills, it's just nothing but impact because he's always getting in there, man. So on Morningstar, to be fair, they just keep moving Rage around. This guy's everywhere right now. End of Carps this time. Previous round, he was Banana. You've seen him take shots from jungle and dig side. Very hard for Change the Game to read.
You think he's calling his own shots? He must be, right? Like, if he's going to be this active and this mobile, he's got to be saying, I have a spawn for this, or I feel like I've got a peak for this, or something like that,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Well, see if he's going to be correct again. Oh, good effort. Let's have Suki there, who ultimately will find the trade. That is overwhelmed by ProKiller, so a missed shot from Rage, and things start to go all right.
Yeah, the spacing there is almost so bad that it's good. You can see Suki, he thinks that that's the player defaulting carp. So he's like, all right, well, that's the only guy second mid for a good 20 seconds. I just need to be worried about the boiler wrap. But Pro Killer comes in and trades him from carp side like 10 seconds later. Man advantage now for CTG, who have had banana pressure for quite a while, and they're utilizing that to just keep the rotates over there. 957, he's an excellent salesman. All three players committed to this B site and changed the game, walk into A for free.
Might be the first time we're going to see Morningstar save. 3 over on B. Fair enough.
It's not a bad round to do it. You know, still three left to play. Their money's kind of middling. You save 3 rifles, you're happy with it. Sucks to lose the AWP in calves, but it is what it is.
It's been a really grindy half for both teams. I think such a back and forth conversation being had, and especially with this round coming through for CTG again, it doesn't really feel like either are particularly on top in this matchup. Had it gone to 6-3, you know, you might be starting to say, okay, Morningstar are really getting the better of it now, but CTG just keeping their head above water for the moment.
Don't think they're going to be incentivized to hunt. Neither of the teams are particularly happy with their economic situation just yet. I think force surviving for change the game is going to bed them in for the rest of the half, more so. Rage, I mean, you know, praised him for moving around a lot, but if you don't hit the shots and then lose that pick on the extremity, it does make the round quite awkward for your team.
Yep. Going back to the rifle this round. Maybe we won't see quite as much aggression from him. It's a bit more of a default setup from Morningstar. Let's find out whether or not that will be the case. Still looks like Rage wants to be on the front foot there, just getting into Boiler and Suki. Getting into Carpets, the main exchange happening in Banana, of course. Is again going to be a favorable one for Morningstar.
957. Cut off at the pass. Leixu was the man boosting him, and it was not only a nade stack and some spam to follow up. I mean, you could see the corpse has gone flying there. Change the game, trying to utilize that half-wall aggression, and I think Morningstar were pretty much setting up to punish that, so bit of a scissors, paper, rock in that regard. Pro Killer, a little bit of util pressure on that A side of the map, but the focus is singular for Change the Game right now. They're just set up in B, trying to bleed out a little bit more utility out of the CTs on B and then hit a timing. The problem is there's still so much util left over. Sasiki's got a molly. One just got dropped. So they've been blocked again. Ruben's boosted up here. There's another last couple of pieces of util traded. So finally, you do have a little bit of a chance to get in here as Change the Game. They've just got to make sure they check the boost here.
They haven't. So far. Oh, and they won't by the looks of things. Ruben is going to strike and punish them for that transgression. Nice attempt coming through here for hacking. I don't think he's getting that bomb down, but he's got himself a double kill. And the rotation's going to be a little bit late here. Oh, he was very aware of Spine's potential position there, but 6 on the board. And Morningstar will continue to hold on to control of the half.
I mean, won the round right from the get-go. Ruben and Sasiki working well in tandem. They punished that half-wall aggression, and then the boost up on Flowers is not something that has been seen before by Change the Game so far this half. They overlook it, and the round's over from there. Really good stuff from the B pairing. Warps back out for Vance. You lose this round, has changed the game, especially without a bomb plant. This could be quite an expensive one. Full banana take for Morningstar. Back down into logs yet again is Sasiki, this time without util. Really feels like Change the Game have been shut out of banana for this whole half.
Yeah. May not be anything that they can rectify because there's only a couple of rounds left in it. Going to be a brackets take. Just a dry brackets take. You know, that's actually quite nice. Doesn't cost them any util. They get it done pretty early on in the round. So a few options opening up here for CTG as a result of that. Looks like they want to continue the contact play on this arch side.
Just getting more space for free. Why not keep pushing? We've abandoned the carp setup now. Oh, this could be a rude awakening with a stride peeking into jungle. This is contested territory. and we've completely overlooked it. Thank God Suki's shooting straight, but with only 5 HP, he is not long for this world inside a pit. He's going to try to drop himself a smoke, buy as much time as possible, but Vance will clean him up.
Oh, missed shot from Vance, though. And Sasiki makes no mistake. We're back to a 2-on-2 now. One plan has gone down that Incend, not doing anything to deny it. It just bounced off of the box. Ruben and Sasiki themselves in position to try to retake this site. Smoke again at Moto. They're going to have to go through it, maybe boost over the top of it.
Nice.
Easy freebie onto hacking. There's info now as to where Lixu is as well, and Ruben, well, he's going to have to try and chance a defuse in the smoke because he's got nothing else to do with the time available to him. That's not going to work. He's just hanging out the smoke a little bit too far, and so it'll be another round for CTG.
Oh, bro. That's like that gif of the security guard that's just like not even touching anybody when they're coming in. Not patted it down thoroughly enough there. Unfortunate. Lies come back through nonetheless, and we're having a tough time splitting the difference in the first half at least. Goodbye for both teams. Rage has got the ult back out. Boost up over the smoke. He got a target at T stairs. It looked like he would for a second. HE that does more damage to Rage than it does blow open the smoke, to be honest. So that's unfortunately been a bit of a disaster class on bracket there. Luckily, Sasiki's making up for it. He just continues to dominate Banana.
Yeah, 7-5 would be a solid enough lead for Morningstar to feel pretty good about things in this first half. It's on its way there. Ruben not electing to crunch in on the brackets there with Spine, who's just got himself across to the cutout on Arch side.
Like jungle. You feel pressure from Pro Killer yet again. Smoked off at the pass, but the real brunt of the push is over here towards B. Sasiki with the counter flash on first oranges. Rage still has a smoke to block. He's going to post himself up in dark corner, and he has not been missing many shots. There are no smokes to push him off the line, and he is just holding it down himself. Sasiki goes unchecked, and even though the AWP is dead, the round is well and truly over. 7-5 for Morningstar as we head into the half.
All right, welcome back on into the second half here. It is map number 1. Plenty of Counter-Strike still yet to go in this grand final between Morningstar and CTG. But CTG had a bit of a deficit now. They didn't quite get enough together in that first half, and they're going to have to do it now on the CT side. See if they can cut the mustard and win their own map in this grand final against Morningstar.
Pretty spread approach. Worth reminding everyone, Change the Game had a flaw to CT side just yesterday. Let's see if we can start it off well with a pistol. Group up towards bracket here. It's going to be 9 players on the map over here towards A, so a bloodbath to say the least on their hands.
All right. 1 for 1 to kick things off. Spine trying to work in here and get that opener onto Pro Killer. It will eventually be stolen away by Ruben, who needs to get a bit of help himself. Suki there to find the trade. It's just 957 left alone. He's charged in onto the site. USB in hand. He gets the better of Spine after the bomb plant's gone down. Suki wants to fight as well. Oh, all sorts of problems on both sides, but eventually Suki gets it done. I thought he had pulled his knife out. That's how quick he got in the site.
I mean, 957 sends it at the best of times, but it's pretty heads-up play, honestly, for Suki to jump. He's in pit. He jumps on top of the box. It's actually very annoying for the USP player to hit the head there, because you've just got a monkey dancing in front of you, showing nothing but his, big quads at his chest that he's been working on in the gym. That's all that you hear. It's like 6 body shots out from the USP there. It's enough for Suki to get it done. Gotta be pretty frustrating, honestly.
Vance, nice tag. Surprised that we're still seeing the Morningstar guys challenge that now that they've seen a scout.
Oh,
Get the better of Rage. Done
I
a
feel
good
bad
chunk of
for him.
damage too.
He was the one doing that with the scout in that last half. Flash on through, 957. Holds W at the best of times, and that was not the best of times. See if Morningstar are feeling brash enough to force the issue. The half-full smoke will give them pause for thought. Lead towards B here for Change the Game. Is not really going to do them any favors, especially if they stick around for too long without really going for a push, because this A hit, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Laiksu, and he's got naught but an MP9 to his name.
Sasiki really wasn't expecting someone pushing down Banana like that. Spine and Suki cottoning onto it.
Mag 7.
Boy, it could be big.
Oh,
On an angle like this one, particularly with Vance on the right side, they're going to be worried about Vance here. So Suki, if he pushes his way forward, he's gonna check the right side. He's not going to check left. There's just no way. And that is a cheeky round win from Pro Killer.
oh boy. Just Morningstar not really able to read those rotations. They thought it was just one player flanking, then it's the guy with the scout. They read that as an A stack, I suppose. Didn't have perfect info, of course. And they were not ready for the first guy to flank. Then they were not ready for the scout to be on the line. And they were definitely not ready for the Mag 7 sitting in the corner. Force buy will come out for Morningstar, though. Well aware that only one player survived. And they want to try to take advantage of that. Break the money here and now and try to put themselves on double digits straight away. Fade out that initial wave of util. 5-7, spamming away, takes a chunk out of Spine. And we'll just fall off the line.
Might have to wait the smoke out. Might not even
That's
be
rough.
interested in B anyway.
I mean, they used all their util. They were trying to go for that quick set play, and they just got blocked, and now they've just got a flash to get the rest of the round done here at 8.
Killer's waiting for it in a good spot to make an impact. And he's got a bit of util to assist himself with, but that's gone a little awry. And a deagle shot from Suki is going to start to make this one interesting. Laxu's terrified, ducking down on the side, hoping he doesn't have to do much, and he won't, because he's been taken out of this round by Sasiki. Rage with one more. The Deagles are doing work, and Morningstar have swindled them. They have stolen a round away from CTG. 9-6. Sharp shots across the board.
Vance and Laxu, 957, all in tears. $1,500 minimum loss bonus. That is exactly what Morningstar had in mind when they went for the pistol force. Excellent shooting on the Deegs. Force Spy comes out in response here for Change the Game, and if this doesn't go well for them, it's going to be an eco, and then I'd imagine Morningstar up 11-6, no? That's not where you thought you would be picking Inferno as Change the Game after getting a 13-0 yesterday.
Never know though, this Mag 7. Keen and eager to see it once again, but it's on the wrong side of the map to have an impact. Hacking has gone in behind Rage, and he's got nothing done with that. Rage MP9 on a swivel. Expecting another player here as well. Somebody had to be hanging around. Rage is just on a tear with the MP9. Classic SMG round. This is Counter-Strike in 2026.
Yeah. Mag 7 will be saved. You're not particularly happy about it. Like, you're going to cling to a 5-7. Just hasn't really had a great game for himself. Hacking the same. Vance, look, a good round or two, but look, the individual is starting to kind of fall by the wayside, which, you know, is what I thought might happen in a game like this. You kind of mentioned it. Morningstar looking like a well-rounded outfit. I mean, right now, it is the big three. Sasuke, Rage, and Suki are all just having a couple of these rounds at a time.
Mm-hmm. Oh! Okay. Ruben's taken a leaf out of Rage's book with the MP9, putting it to good use, and there's the Mag 7, taken through to the next round.
I mean, I think if you run up the stairs and get Mag 7'd on that angle, that's a quitting console.
That's probably a quitting console too for hacking right there.
That's a quitting console for that 5-7. You got triple thickness, sandbags, that likes to suffer the exact same fate. Little gremlins jumping around with the MP9s.
Yeah.
Disgusting gameplay.
Alright, where's Pro Killer? He's got to be the hero here. He's got to do something special.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on,
He's
Pro
good,
Killer.
but he's not that good.
Come on, Pro Killer.
Come on, man. Come on, hacking. Have a go. Give it a swing, son. Where even is the eye? He's in carps. Yeah, that's not where he needs to be.
Slow and steady wins the race. Morningstar not going anywhere quickly.
Ooh. Think he should be a victim. It was ambitious for 957. I like his moxie, you know. You don't make big plays, then you don't get big results. Procula cleans up Suki and Carbs. That's the moment he was waiting for. The problem is any smile that was on his face after pulling the trigger of that Mag 7 is quickly starting to fall by the wayside, because this is looking like an 11-6 with a good economy to boot that they've got to try to chip away at here. Oh, man.
Mag 7 can't do much at that range. Vance.
What?
Oh, he's going to show us how it's
Are you
done.
sure?
Well, helps when they're not shooting back.
Come on, man. That was skillful gameplay.
Honestly, I like the Mag 7. I think it's a great gun.
Next thing he'll be building himself a little fort and doing a 180 off it. 200 boxed. Man, that's brutal. All right. Well, they just had a really good CP side yesterday. I've said it like 5 times in this cast, but that I'm willing it into existence right now, because if it doesn't happen here, it's not going to happen at all. MP9's come out for 957 and hacking. Vance has got the AWP out. He had a couple of moments with it yesterday. And he's going to start it towards B. He's not going to get a chance to use it probably in this round, because this is going to be an A-pop here from Morningstar.
So it would seem. Smoke to arch side. Flashes over the top here. And they have short. Spine turns back into the flash, but there's no swing to come from it for CTG there. trying their best to rotate 957 across in time. He'll flash his way out of Arch, and, well, the defense is going okay. Pro Killer putting up some numbers from the site. Problem is that the rotations come maybe a little bit too quickly, and that Molotov is going to pull Pro Killer out of his position. We're back now to a 2-on-1 favoring Morningstar. Good patience from Ruben and Rage, and they're rewarded for it with a bomb plant.
Multi-frag from Pro Killer is not enough to get the round done. I don't know what will be. Pants has got to pick up the pace here. He hasn't got a kit. I don't know if one is dropped in the site. That's a filthy off angle from Ruben, and it doesn't look like he's going to be ready for it. Creeping up now and going loud. Punished for crossing default. That's map point here for Morningstar on their opponent's map pick. And look, any semblance of hoping that this will be a close grand final is starting to look less and less likely.
Yeah, I agree. Morningstar have really hit their stride, and that's not good news for CTG. Going into Mirage, which of course is Morningstar's map pick.
Ruben's got 18 kills, like 17 of those are MP9 jumping shots. It's got to get in your head at some point.
I suppose so.
Hackings, they've got banana. Rotations are coming across the 8. And I think Morningstar are just going to run it back, it looks like.
Worked pretty well last round. Bit of counter util to try to slow them down, and ooh, a better hold this time from CTG, so they're not going to beat them with the same trick twice in a row. Ruben's made a bit of noise as well, so very prepared for his push out on the balcony. CTG hold on for now, but it's only a brief moment of respite because there will be another fullback coming through here from Morningstar.
That's a nice hold from Pro Killer. This guy's pretty damn legit. 3 from Laxu as well. After having a bit of a rough game, they combine for all 5. It's about as good of a dig hold as you could have asked for. 5 more on the trot needed. Ult comes out for Rage. A decent spawn for it. Wonder if he's going to try to chance his luck in banana here. Oh dear.
Oh, okay, good shot.
Thought
Well,
that molly was going to burn them out of logs, but then he hits that.
Too. Yeah, that's one of the ways to survive in a situation like that. Hacking is up the creek without a paddle. I don't think he's getting out of this one alive, even through the flash. Spine's going to finish him off, and then Ruben's there to reinforce it. This is looking pretty over. Laxu tries to do what he can, but spray control gets the better of him, and now it's just on Pro Killer, who's actually had a pretty good map, but it's not going to be good enough. He's spotted out by Rage, who gets the easiest kill, and it is fitting that it is Rage to finish that one off. A really good map from him. A good map as well from Ruben, it has to be said, and across the board, very solid stuff for Morningstar. 13-7 the win there on map number 1. I don't think you can complain about that at all.
I mean, it was a pretty back and forth first half. Changed the game, started it very well, but once Morningstar got going, particularly on their T side, they just ran away with this game. Really excellent stuff to watch, and even if Change the Game have looked pretty phenomenal on their CT side of Inferno in previous maps, in previous matches, doesn't trouble Morningstar enough. They are the big fish in the small pond in this cup, at least.
Yeah, indeed. We'll obviously have a little bit more to look at, though, and we'll see whether or not Change the Game can find a way to come back into this series. But hefty defeat on their map pick is not going to make life easy. So we'll take a short break here, and we'll head back for map number 2 of Mirage when the teams are ready.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life done bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life done bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
Well, jumping back on in here for map number 2, Morningstar are in a position now where they can potentially go through this entire cup without losing a map, and frankly, they can do it pretty comfortably as well. The closest map that they've had was 13-11 a couple of series ago against boring players, but realistically speaking, 2-0s across the board, a lot of single-digit wins, and so far in this grand final, not really much of a contest from Change the Game. 13-7 on their own map pick. A loss is probably not up to par. Rage was certainly above par though. 23 kills, 12 deaths. He was all over the place, doing it with the AWP, doing it with the rifle, doing it with pistols. I think Mirage, at this point, we have to say, is surely going the way of Morningstar.
Yeah, it's looking likely. I think Mirage is a map that seems like Change the Game have struggled on a little bit. Have lost it twice to Chinggis Warriors. Had that crazy game over in Zowie Extremes land that went to OT, but to be fair, that was largely an effort by Zero, who isn't even on the team anymore. Did beat Arise on it, but I don't know if that necessarily gives me any confidence that they're going to be competitive here. For Morningstar, I mean, yeah, they've lost some games on it. They beat Last Bullet pretty hard, though, and that was in this recent cup, so I think they're feeling pretty confident they're just going to get this series out of the way, and I don't think the map even necessarily matters too much. I think Morningstar is beating pretty much every team in this comp on pretty much every map, and they're just in some phenomenal form. They just want to qualify to the Asia Pacific Finals nice and early on and stack those VRS points nice and high.
Yeah, 100%. At this stage, Morningstar are on track to qualify for the major, and I think with the way that they've been playing lately, they definitely deserve a crack at it over, you know, the usual suspects that we would have been talking about in the past. You know, your likes of Huns and Chinggis Warriors have probably been the sort of that 5th or 6th team that have taken those last slots, but I think Morningstar have definitely eclipsed them of late, and so see how they go if they do end up at Cologne. For now, the task at hand is getting over the line here against CTG in the pistol, and it's gone pretty well so far to start things off. Another kill for Sasiki onto that A-bomb side, and that'll be a plant down. Meanwhile, a bit of an engagement there in middle that doesn't go the way of Rage, but still, there always seems to be a trade for Morningstar somewhere else on the map, and it's a 2-on-1 that Laiksu has to try to get through.
A lot of ground to cover, and that's why he's moving with speed right now. Bringing out Sandwich, having a look into Balk, Palace, Firebox. It's a double CT setup, though. Taps that bomb. Wants to bait out a peek. Can't clean up Spine, so that's going to buy even more time off the clock. And without a kit, I mean, this round is already over. He's really just playing for money at this point. Sasiki, not really much of a muchness. Who wins this fight? It will be Sasiki to do it, so a little bit extra cash in his kitty. And things just continue to go worse for Change the Game.
Yeah, just such a crispy couple of entries on that A-bomb site. You could already tell that that round was going to be a tough one for CTG from the outset. Maxu, not much for him really there, unfortunately. No real investment for CTG either, just some pistols across the board. Pro Killer's on a bit of a mission here. 5-7. Doesn't have any backup though if he continues this push. 2 players on the other side of it. 5-7 could do the damage or it could not. 1-for-1 for him is not really enough to get us too excited about this round.
Oh, hacking with the B-ups push. Could be a good timing for him. You got 957 tucked in ladder as well. There's still a few cheeky little snags that could trip Morningstar up if they're not careful. Vance spotted out. Not but a USP to his name. Really just playing an info game, if anything. Bomb retrieved now for Morningstar as they group towards B-ups. That's eyes on hacking to go big, but he's not even on the server anymore. And that'll give nice open passage into that big side. That's cleans up Rage. That's an AK found for the CT side. And I dare say he'll probably just try to hold on to it.
Looks like he'll get away with it. Although, there's a lot of time for the hunt here for Morningstar, and they are on their way. Just going to be spying to
hunt.
Keep an eye on the plant.
Just going to try to turn into a pot plant or a cushion over here in Palace and hope they don't find him.
Yeah. They're going to have a look, but I don't think they're going to get there in time. So he will keep his Valorant gun. What do you think of that skin?
Nah, that's not it.
I agree.
Honestly, if anything, that reminds me of COD 4 Pro Mod. It have all the like golden AKs and stuff like that
Right.
back in the day. I'm sure many people on the stream remember COD 4 Pro Mod. It was only 2007 to like early 2010s, so like 15 years ago plus. No big deal. All good.
No way.
Procula, this man is just addicted to pushing underpass, and with results like that, God, does it feel good.
Yeah,
Another opener for him.
Can't complain. Doesn't seem to have disrupted the plan of Morningstar all that much, though. They're still quite eager to hit this B bomb site. They're just going to try and test themselves, test this B defense, and so far it's not looking too crash hot. Spine there for 2 on the entry. Nice flash assists from Rage. The plant will go down nice and quickly as well. Procula just doesn't stop fighting, does he? Got himself another one onto Sasiki. Ruben doesn't want to take this fight alone. He's terrified, and he'll get the help from Spine that will pretty much lock this round in. But with a couple of low HP players here on short, maybe still something in it for Hacking. He has a bit of time to work with. He's got a defuse kit as well, and he might be finding Ruben for free. But he needs more, and he won't get it. Spine checks just in time. That will be a third for Morningstar. A costly round, but given the fact that they start with a player deficit, to get that one through, they'll be happy.
Procula doing his damnedest right now. Good stuff from Spine. Takes a lot of space there. Big 3k from him. Maybe even 4, actually, now that I think about it. He was the player to slip through the smoke there and clean up Procula, and then he ends the round as well. Yeah, big 4k from Spine. Couple hero rifles here invested. Procula's very much feeling himself. He's bought an A1 SNR and like Kevlar, and he's not necessarily thinking about the consequences of this buy right now. Just living in the moment.
Yeah, why not? Why not have a little go? So we had a B test. Now we're going to get an A test. Standard execute out here from Morningstar. Smokes for stairs. Jungle. CT spawn. Flashes over the top. Molly at the triple box. And pretty easy entry in the end for Morningstar. One plant to go down. 957 will not be able to deny that. In fact, he will give up his position and lose his life as a result. So easy pickings for Morningstar.
They're just rolling them right now.
Yep.
2 hero rifles and didn't have any impact at all. 5 players survived. 4-0. This is a schlappen. He's what is Procula doing? Like, I get it, he's great at shooting people, but he is hard trolling the CT economy right now.
Maybe he's just tilted.
I think he might be. I'm not gonna lie.
He's given up. He said, guys, I've dropped like 25 kills on the first map and we've lost 13-7. I'm done. I'm just going to do what I want.
See, this is where Zero would drop 30 on Mirage. We've already seen it on land, so...
It's true.
Come on, man. Get it together. Oh! Not the timing he was looking for. Chest found of Spine. Rage takes a little bit of damage as well. It's a bit of a traffic jam on the stairs right now. Vance is going to join them in connector as well. And look at the big swing coming in. Procula does connect with the Deagle. He's bloody doing everything right now. I am never criticizing this purchase again. Suki, last alive, has got way too much to do. And that's a first round from Change the Game that I did not think was coming together. I'm not going to lie.
How's that gone so wrong for Morningstar? I don't know.
He's hit 2 with the dig, advances on the line with the AWP. I guess when you quad swing connector, that's not the expected outcome. I'm not gonna lie. Literally every single player on Morningstar swung connector there.
Well, back into it. Morningstar, of course, have another buy. Got double AWP out here for CTG as well. ProKiller just going to have a crack with that too. Why not? He's tried rifles. He's tried the Eagles. It's time to try the AWP.
He's completing Counter-Strike.
World Tour. Hey, again, he puts himself in a position to have the impact. That's Rage down. Maybe ProKiller can actually put together something here.
Very quick on the draw, isn't he? We need a reaction time test on this guy. Pro just doesn't miss. Worked off the line. Connector control secured. Spine hanging around in Palace here, but in the meantime, Hacking has taken control of ramp, and 957 just does 957 things. Massive 3K. Love watching this guy. Just dry walks through the connector smoke with a man advantage. Screw it. And that has broken the money of Morningstar. They're back in the game, Jordan.
Yeah, all right. It's getting interesting again. Morningstar taking their foot off the gas a little bit, and CTG happy to move in and take up residence. It'll just be a single save for Morningstar. But we'll get CTG back to 3, and, you know, money's actually building pretty nicely on this CT side, so maybe Morningstar getting a little bit lazy with things, and now they're going to have to do it a bit of a more difficult way the rest of this half.
Don't want to let Vance warm up. He's starting to hit a couple of these flicks. He took one look at Suki. He was like, nah, I could take Sasiki, but he saw the jiggle from Suki. He was like, nah, I'm a fan.
Not having a bar of that.
There we go. Cleans him up. Great bowling. Multiple nades straight down the middle of apartments. And I've never really looked at the pattern on those cushions, but those are really uggers.
Well, luckily they're not in your house. 4-3. CTG giving Elise back on life in this half.
Main prac for Vance. Feeling good about himself, you know. It was only an anti-eco, but you're hitting the flicks. Starting to feel yourself a bit. 9 and 4 for him. Couple smokes being juggled here by Morningstar. They've had to forego a fair bit of utility, and this is what we want to see from Vance. Getting aggressive, walking up on this A ramp line. Moves being made in middle. You can tell Morningstar are trying to set up this A split, but A ramp is very heavily contested right now.
Very well hold so far from CTG as well. Bomb's on its way through, but has to get past a couple of CTs. If Ruben would just walk through the smoke right now, he'd get a freebie onto Hacking. Looks like he might just wait for it to fade, and there I'm going to start to get worried. Re-smoke. Hacking spots him over the top of the smoke, and yeah, Morningstar have definitely dropped the ball a little bit now on this T side. CTG are finding their feet, feeling comfortable. Spine, a little bit more damage, but nothing too concerning for CTG. That money is looking phenomenal on the CT side now.
Yeah, it's all from that Deagle save that ProKiller did earlier. That's why they've got like 10 grand on each player, you know. He's scrimped and he's saved every little penny. Pistols and armor coming out here for Morningstar. A little bit of something. I mean, it was a while since our Extreme Slam, but what I do remember about this map from Change the Game is that the T side is kind of where they struggled. I don't know if you remember that Chinggis game, but like Zero was trying to do the most walking out Palace and get multi-frags on the T side, and it felt like nobody else was really doing anything. The good news is, if I remember correctly, Vance was like double neg that game, and this game he is looking like the alpha version of himself. So
Maybe he
can
just
help.
believes in himself a bit more now.
Yeah.
If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. Like walk into window when there's a guy on short and not see him.
It's very inspirational.
Okay, Ruben's going to get Vance. There's still a player on short. It's now been spotted out.
Maybe shouldn't have believed in himself. The bomb's going back to 8. We've got a player in Murder Hole. We've got a player in the TV room. You know, it's just classic stuff from Morningstar. If you don't know what you're doing, then how could change the game know? You know?
True. Wise words. 30 seconds, I'm not really seeing the vision for this round. But they might be able to walk their way into A.
They've won it. I don't know if you... I know you don't think you've seen the vision, but Suki's got an AWP. We're flashing the only player on the A side of the map. That's going to be Hacking dead.
Okay.
He's full white.
Okay.
Suki's got the short rotator. Plant's going down for free. Ease. Absolutely ease.
Yeah. Apparently.
Perfect off angle from Suki. That's a freebie. Yep. Yep. At one point in this round, they were like one in Murder Hole, one in B-Apps, like one in T-Spawn at 50 seconds to go in the round. And that's how they win it. Just masterful stuff, really. We get attack timeout for Morningstar after picking up that pistol win. So wanting to keep the good times rolling, as it were. Double AWPers being purchased once again here for Change the Game. Going to keep backing themselves with that. It's a bit of a gaping hole in middle, though, previously, where the window boost had a lot of impact. So see if Change the Game are going to be able to get on top of that this time around. Rage, AWP in hand. Looking to pick this A-cross, potentially. He's got a pretty good spawn for it, but won't be given the opportunity. Vance, on the other hand, a good spawn for Palace. So both of the AWPers looking for opportunities towards A early on.
Both of the AWPers. There's 3 AWPers, Pilski. 3 AWPers.
Expect the unexpected.
Oh, there you go. How about that one from Rage? Entry frag on the A site with the AWP, just walking out ramp. That's pretty unexpected.
Well. No regard for a player at Ticket. Uses CTs have got full Palace control, so that makes you feel a little bit better. It's like Morningstar prepping themselves for a B split.
Had a bit of success with the B hit earlier on in the half.
Ooh. Oh, that's
Hey.
juicy.
Yeah, beautiful. See if it helps out like Zoo at all. Maybe not. He doesn't even get the chance to shoot back. There is still a player on this side, though. 957 on a stealth mission, and Rage. Oh, okay, of course. Why not? Just take the chance there with the no-scope. It works out. Bomb's going to go down.
I love that they dropped the bomb at 957's feet there. Like he was sitting in front inside of the smoke, and he's like, all right, hey, 957, planet. Got full control of the site. Oh, that's a CT. Two-man push. 3 short here. Ruben's all over it. Backing down for free. It's up to Procula. He's been giving hero vibes, but he can't beat a peak like that from Ruben. Rage and Ruben combining for all 5 there. And Procula is broke, but something tells me he's going to have another AWP this round somehow.
Why wouldn't he?
I mean, that's classic stuff from 957. He's just left his teammate high and dry in the site. then gotten to and been like, come on, guys, step it up, all right? inside of the smoke.
Pro Killer does not have an AWP. Vance does. Maybe Pro Killer can grab it later on in the round. It's no offensive happening here for Morningstar into middle. Looks like it's just going to be a default back over to the A site. And a good old-fashioned A execute is on the cards, which not a bad shout considering there's just the one defender there.
Yeah.
He's got to make the decision as to whether or not he wants to stay on this side and fight, and it looks like he does. He'll set himself up in Ninja. Well, he's going to go into Sandwich. Vance cleared out. They've still got to deal with hacking. And he is just completely deleted by Suki. So any semblance of an A-hold is well and truly gone.
Yeah, I think he's played that position a couple of times. 957, once again, getting a little slippery. Inside of the smokes, does a lot of damage to Rage on ramp. Pro Killer, that 5-7 is not looking very scary at all, so it's probably got to be Likesoo to get the majority of the work done. And indeed, truer words have never been said as his teammate's head gets lopped off. 1v4, and it's an even better peek from Sasiki, a 3k from him. Him and Suki were just looking like laser beams in that round. Just deleting CT heads. He's actually saved this round again, by the way. He's got 1250 at the end of that round. That's another round where his teammates are full bought and he's saving with pistol armor. Like, what is this guy on?
He's just on a different wavelength. You're playing checkers, he's playing chess.
He's playing for stats. He's legitimately playing for stats.
Needs to get that round swing score up, mate.
Well, to get round swing score, you've got to win rounds.
Yep. I guess that makes sense. Not too many of those going around at the moment, actually, for CTG, unfortunately. This could end up actually being an 8-4 half for Morningstar, which, you know, further compounds the feeling of this being a foregone conclusion.
Morningstar very much feeling like a push will be on the cards here for Change the Game. They'll be right about that. Hacking's getting frisky in A ramp. Rage on the other side of that with the AWP could be a bit messy. Bloody hell, Suki. It looks so rough being on the other side of it, doesn't it? That's the push I was waiting for. Rage is in a bit of a rough position if the timing wasn't right there. So the MP9 will take the AWP out. Ruben cleared up in Palace as well. Another double thing from Hacking.
Bit of a shift over to the B side, though, from Vance. Not a bad call to make. 3 players for this B defense could undo this final round for Morningstar. A lot of space being taken, though. The contact play is kind of working out. Spine, he was not aware of the jump out the window. Suki in a spot of bother, though, as there's that extra force of Likesoo on this B bomb side, and Sasiki can't find him. Can't find him quickly enough. 7-5 will be the score. CTG in with a chance in the second half. Another 7-5 scoreline here as we head back into the second half. And unfortunately for CTG, they are on the receiving end of that deficit once again. That said, a little bit of a recovery at the back end of the first half is going to make this still a playable game, but we'll have to wait and see how good their T side is here. And an immediate tack timeout from Morningstar at the start of this half would make me believe that maybe someone didn't make it back to their PC in time.
No, they're just very serious about organizing themselves on the CT pistol here, Jordan.
Okay.
This is one of the most critical rounds of the game, actually. So taking some extra time to talk it through, you'd be well advised to do so. Yeah, I understand that you wouldn't get it, having not really played the game as much. Me personally and all of these fine players, we're in the Counter-Strike server every day, so the tack timeouts before the pistol is something that makes a lot of sense to know. As
that makes sense. Well, back underway. And it is CTG with that sort of slower approach to the pistol here. You've got Vance with the P250, and he has just found the perfect timing there onto Rage. It's not going to work out for him, but eventually he does get the job done. It's just 3 quick picks in middle for CTG. Thank you very much. Well, 2 in mid, 1 on 8. Pretty much should be the pistol round over and done with. There's just nothing in this one at all for Morningstar.
Yeah, Sasiki, I think you might have been right. That didn't really look like most of Morningstar were on their PCs in that round. Hacking P250 in hand. Multiple of them were purchased, and pretty successfully so. I mean, this is... if he breaks this crossfire, I'll give him 100 grand. Top balcony, stairs, and triple. It's just GG. It's a great pistol, though, from Change the Game. Oh, that's just juicy, man. 2 taps like that with it. That's exactly why you buy the P250 on T side.
Yeah, exactly. Attack timeout immediately again from CTG. So, Morningstar pretty serious about their CT pistol. Apparently, CTG pretty serious about their T side anti-force.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. Either that or they might not think Morningstar made it back to their PCs in time. So giving them a bit of extra time. It's good sportsmanship, I think. Vance is just going to hold on to the P250. He's looked at how that last round went and he said, yeah, that'll do for me. I'm going to get an AWP going in round 15, if possible. Maybe round 16, because you probably get through the anti-eco at that point. But honestly, against the force buy, I don't know if that's going to come back to bite him potentially. Like a quick A split being set up here by Change the Game. But look at how many pistolers are sitting around connector here. I don't know if you're getting up there with a Mac 10. I'm not going to lie. That just looked a little bit too easy for Morningstar to defend.
Yeah, ambitious from Likezu. The rest of CTG coming scurrying out onto the A side here. A lot of damage done onto 957. He'll be traded back down by that Mac 10. Elsewhere, damage is being dealt. So we're back in onto the 3v3. But Pro Killer getting tagged down pretty substantially. Needs to be careful with his life right now. There's a wrap coming in the CT spawn as well. Suki won't be able to make good on that one. Grenades not quite going to go deep enough to finish off Pro Killer, who put together another very good round. He was the shining light of success on the first map, and maybe can still be here for the second map as well for CTG.
Yeah, money broken for Morningstar. Change the Game. Not only evening up the equation, but looking to go up one better. With good money to boot if they can clean up this anti-eco nicely. Geeks purchased across the board though. Morningstar wanted to keep it expensive. Quick mid smokes again, like smoke to window and con every single round for Change the Game in the opening portions of this game. So they could potentially play off the conditioning of that as we head later into the half. Pro Killer not really wanting... Well, I was going to say, not really wanting too much to do with that Deagle, but with a well-placed Molotov, he's been able to dislodge it. Bomb dropped it middle, though. Sputton's got his hands on an AK. This could get a little bit hairy.
Yep. Fancy footwork. Gets back into window as well. Is there anything for Ruben? No. I mean, he's just chilling over on B.
You didn't get the memo.
I'll have to come into play soon, though. Don't mind this push, actually, from Ruben at all. A minute left on the clock. They are still really taking their time in clearing out middle, looking for that bomb. So the longer Ruben gets to work, the more likely this round could still go their way. And he might actually just be able to catch a timing here onto Laiksu, who still has to come up onto short to get the bomb. So
Yeah.
Ruben slowly but surely working his way forward, and I think he might just miss the timing.
Oh, no. It's the bloody tortoise in the hair.
He's got the AK though. And again, Laiksu's taken a long time in clearing out this B bomb site. He's going to put the smoke down as well, which will sort of give the game away. Ruben will be able to get set up on short, and he should be pretty aware of the possibility of Laiksu planting a default. He's watching to see if the cross will happen, and he spots him out, but does not hit the shots he needs. And so CTG will claim the lead.
That's rough. I think the aim punch really made mincemeat of him there. Got a decent read on it. I think into a big mid stack again. Morningstar finally getting themselves a gun round to go, though. Fair bit of damage done. 4 guns taken away from change the game, so they've had to work their way through a lot of their money just being able to buy up into this one. It's a good opportunity for Morningstar to keep things competitive now. No quicker mid smokes to con this time for change the game, so that might be something that Morningstar can read into. I mean, early on in the round, they were a little bit more committed to middle, but after not seeing those early mid smokes as we've seen in the early couple of rounds, they are actually really adjusting their setup to be more focused on holding the sites, particularly B here.
Another big spread from CTG. This time obviously aware that Morningstar have got weapons in hand. Rage was a big factor on Inferno. Hasn't really quite had the same success here on Mirage, which is contrary to what you might think. Turn away from that flash and he's forced away. Bit of an awkward util set out from him there. Does prompt the rotation in from Ruben, and in fact a huge shift off of the A site here for Morningstar. Suki will be caught in transition, hacking, brought back down by Rage. Important that Morningstar scale their way back onto this A bomb site, but I think they're just a little too late. 957 has spotted the player in connector. Mid's not been cleared out just yet either by Morningstar. This is going very wrong very quickly. And it's down to just a couple of players. Sasiki working hard to try to find some numbers, forcing 957 into this fight. But 1v2, it's not even going to come down to the 1v1. 957 closes it out, and CTG putting Mirage together one step at a time and starting to look like they might threaten a third map.
I mean, that's a classic CTG round. Just so many layers. Util sets upon util sets dropped in spawn. You had a one-man execute on A, followed up by a one-man execute to throw out mid smokes and pressure mid. Allowed Hacking to get the window boost in with a B ending back to A. Like, just crazy stuff. Honestly, they just love these layered strats that play absolute mind games with their opponents. When it works, it's masterful, you know? They're just running the CTs all around the map. When it doesn't work, they look crazy.
He's being made here by 957, but he is being covered well by Vance. The 5-7 of Spine not able to have an impact, and nor that of the Eagle of Rage. It's kind of coming apart at the seams a little bit here for Morningstar. They just seem like all the X factor has gone out of them.
Yeah, Ruben sitting in the back of the site here. Again, aim punches working against him. Sasiki last alive, if anything, just trying to get as many plus 600s in the bank account as he can. 4 alive for Change the Game. They hit themselves into double digits. And it's seeming like both teams' map picks are going to backfire a little bit. It's a bit of a weird game, honestly, for Morningstar. Rage and Suki are completely absent. I don't think we've even seen that yet this tournament.
No, really, haven't. They've been the top 2 performers for Morningstar. This is not really the time to go missing. So, another gun round for Morningstar, and another opportunity to just start to put this one back in the right direction. Rage not connecting the shot. I think, though, will go down to Suki, but Rage is just not finding the same success with this aggressive AWPing style that he had been bringing to the table. Is continuing to compound some of these issues for Morningstar, leaving holes in the defense. But Suki is taking matters into his own hands in this round, at least.
Spine cleared up and connected, though, and Suki pushed away, which means Sasiki is alone on this A site, burning alive, cleaned up by ProKiller. Puts things into a 2-on-2. Bomb picked up. Nice open plant being attempted. Spammed out, though, by Suki. Plant cancelled at the least. Oh my god, the counter spam for ProKiller is even better, though. I cannot believe he calibrated that. And now Ruben, position known, in a bit of a cooked position.
Yep, Likes been set up in connector with that flash. So, pretty impossible crossfire to break. Smoke there, probably not really going to do him any favors either. All it takes is Likes to get a nice timing out that con, and Ruben's not even interested anymore. Wants to save the gun through to the next round. Just that lack of confidence, I suppose, starting to shine through for Morningstar, which is strange because that's antithetical, I suppose, to the way that they've been playing the rest of this ESL Challenger Cup. Save the orb. I don't know if I even want to see that necessarily going in the hands of Rage. He's having a bit of a stinker of a map.
He's whiffing everything. A decent round from Suki, but ProKiller, once again, outstanding. The buy put together around the saved orb. It's a pretty decent looking one for Morningstar, but they're running out of opportunities now. Change the game, itching to push us through to a third, and Dust 2 is not a map they mind playing, so still very much within the realms of possibility that they could get this series won, especially if Morningstar continue not to show up. Morningstar not out of opportunities yet. Ruben went on a massive expedition just to get the AWP in Rage's hands, and he is locking down this B line for now, which is allowing Morningstar to lead a lot more heavily towards the A defense.
Well, Rage again. Let's see what he can do with this AWP. It's just not anywhere near as clean as what it was on Inferno, is it?
Doesn't even look like the same player, mate. Looks like he got off his PC and somebody else got on.
Okay.
There you go.
Better connection that time. But going to need quite a bit more where that came from if Morningstar are to stave off map 3. And again, it's just gone pear-shaped in the blink of an eye. It's kind of been the story of Mirage. This CT side has been really quite poor from Morningstar. I think we're definitely thinking about Dust 2 at this stage.
It's fine to trade one back at least, but ProKiller's already flanking. Oh, hold on a second. I mean, Likes2 is pretty alone here outside of market. If he gets isolated and picked, they could be in a spot of bother. Is it planted for short? Yes, it is. Suki v ProKiller, and Suki crosses his fingers, crosses his toes, but it's still not good enough. ProKiller just swings off the initial tap. That is supreme confidence from the man.
Yeah.
Doesn't play with his food, doesn't mess around. He just wants to get the round done. He wants to go to map 3.
I want to go to map 3 at this point as well. I think, you know, let's just get this Mirage over and done with. It's been a bit of a non-affair, frankly. just been pretty painful to watch, actually. Not sure what's happened to Morningstar, but they have just completely taken a nosedive. And at really the worst possible time, you know, like the cup is within grasp. They're up 7-5 in the first half, and they have not won a single CT round. What's going on with that?
Yeah, couldn't explain it myself. 957 on a bit of an expedition to Carps. Freebie for Ruben. He'll take that. First advantage Morningstar have had in a little while now. See if they're going to be able to capitalize.
A lot of individual aim tools being given up. A lot of space being given up here as well. Hacking's just walked through the smoking connector. Huge hole in that defense. Well, not for long. Rage cleans him up. Spine as well in there to get that trade on to Pro Killer. Bomb is in transition as Lagzu walks his way out onto B.
What is going on, man? This is like a bug.
Everyone's doing what they want on their own.
Look where everyone's died on the map this round at the timings that they've died. Like, what is going on, bro? Oh, man.
It begars belief a little bit.
It honestly kind of reminds me of like COVID era of like Vici Tai Lu, you know? It's just like some maps where these teams look so switched on, like you get some sick strats, people are looking really sharp. There's some maps where like I wonder if we've loaded up literally like just a random 5e play demo.
Well, Morningstar to 8. Wasn't exactly the finest looking CT round, but it is a round, so it's better than nothing.
Ruben has just sat on 2 different random angles and killed 2 people. Just try walking out B-ups with full util.
Suppose you'll take it.
Good on ya.
I mean, could that be the catalyst for a bit of a recovery here for Morningstar? Let's see. And he's actually not fantastic for CTG.
Yeah. I mean, if they lose this round, they're going to be broke, and then that last round is going to be leaving a bit of a bitter taste in their mouth. Say mid-smoke's out just to deny some info, and it does look like CTG might be looking for an earlier timing into B this time. It's just Ruben on his own. Morningstar heavily set up to defend mid.
Ruben. Let's let Pro Killer take quite a bit of space here in apps. Oh, and he's terrified. He's just dropped that smoke and decided, I'm going to sit in this. It's my only hope of defending B.
I mean, this is a classic.
Smoke's going to fade.
The classic change the game round, you know. It's like the fake B lurk into, oh, we're doing like a mid split, and then B ending with 45 seconds to go. They don't even really show pressure or presence or anything. They just throw smokes, and they just assume the other team will rotate accordingly.
Not much of a rotation to be had just yet from Morningstar. Spine those spots out Vance in middle. Ruben has to get a bit of work done here from bench if Morningstar want to hold on to this round. He hears them coming, but turn in time to take the fight. Now the player on short, kind of fighting alone. He needs backup. Spine's in there to try to render some assistance, and Rage looking to hold on to the door. Gets that job done. 9 for Morningstar. Save for CTG on the cards. The comeback is on.
I'm not gonna lie, like this is where CTG's. This is what I was saying earlier. You know, like these rounds are. It's like they're trying to do these Mega Mind CS rounds. You know, where they're like, all right, first we do the A pump into mid smokes with one singular flash into middle, and hopefully that pushes the AWPer off the line. Okay, now they have no mid control. All right, they're leaning mid. It's a 1-3-1. We're doing the B execute. There's only one player on the site. We've pulled and pushed the rotations perfectly. It's like, yeah, in theory, but you know, if the other team just pushes any info line, that's just terrible T-side. Look, what's good T-side is your star player running out A ramp and just one-tapping the ticket player. That definitely helps.
Oh, another one. Pro Killer, he's just a demon with the deagle at the moment, apparently. Rage has got to be quaking in his boots, but that's a nice flick. Now he's gone for the USP, and he says, mine's better than yours, even though it's smaller. It's about how you use it, Pilski. Remember that one, Vance. He forgot 12-10. Morningstar winning another one, but that was a bit too close for comfort.
Yeah, look. Change the game, stop trying to play 4D chess, and just decided to, you know, go back to their roots. Let's run out A route, hit a couple of shots, get in there, son. 2 more for OT here for Morningstar. Once again, Util is a little bit sparse because the money still hasn't really recovered for Change the Game. And at least this round, it looks like they're going to simplify a bit. A execute being prepped here. Spine to defend with naught but a smoke, and the only rotators are really over on stairs and con side, so it'll be a fast flood through the jungle smoke, I'd imagine.
Comes the util, smoke out for Spine. Needs to get that gun in hand, tucks himself into sandwich. So util being tossed here by CTG. They are not making any secrets of where they're headed. Pro Killer with another entry frag. Rage starting to come alive once again. Not been able to get back out to safety, and this might be it. CTG have cracked open the A site. Ruben, the last standing, will try to go through the murder hole, but there's a reason it's called that, and that is exactly why. 13-10, CTG push it over the line and force map number 3. Goodness me, Morningstar, what has happened? They just seem to disappear on Mirage.
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit of a lackluster game for them. Might leave a sour taste in their mouth. But look, we'll see what happens on Dust 2. CTG start to warm up a little bit. And I know they don't mind playing Dust 2. So I still think that this series is within their grasp if they can lock in a bit.
We'll see. We'll take a short break before we do get to Dust 2. But map 3, the decider in this grand final, is coming up after this.
I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep up till my speaker phone. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. 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 Going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep up till my speaker phone. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker phone blows.
Rightio, welcome back on in. It is time for map number 3. A map which, similar to the Oceania final, we didn't really feel like we were going to need, but in the end, we are here anyway, and it was largely thanks to ProKiller, who, he was doing some interesting things, Pilski, with the buys, but I think at least in terms of the output, what he was actually putting out on the server was pretty impressive. So who are we to judge, really?
Yeah, as long as he puts out, that's the main thing. Dust 2, third map and decider of this series. It's been here and there for Morningstar, honestly. They got a 50-50 win rate on it. Got some good dubs, got some L's. So, look, I think they're in better form than ever, as I kind of said before, and maybe that's going to help them going forward. Tasiki, one of the better players for Morningstar in that last game, largely because I felt like Rage and Suki weren't really playing up to their usual level. It was a bit of a lackluster game from all the Morningstar boys across the board. Taking a look at Change the Game, though, they've had some pretty good games on Dust 2 in the past. I remember them playing this over at Extremes Land. They had some good strats. I like the way they layer their T side. We saw them play this against Last Bullet the other day, didn't we? They had some cheeky little T side strats that they were doing. They had some mid to Bs. They had some cheeky little sneak through that spawn smoke after conditioning them with the double mid to B smokes and then hit A. So they're comfortable on Dust 2, and I think a good news for them is if Vance hits the same level of form he was in the last map, and they start out well on this CT side, he gets the AWP in hand, then they could be on for a dub here in this grand final.
Yeah, potentially. Look, ProKiller and Vance were the two that led from the front in that previous map. They were the two that led from the front in the win on this map over Last Bullet. What's hanging about in my head, though, is that it was only just a 13-10 victory over Last Bullet. So, it doesn't scream that it was a super fantastic map. And I certainly have Morningstar in a bit higher regard than I do for Last Bullet. But look, who's to say that this is impossible for CTG? I don't think there's anyone that can really say that, because up to this point, Morningstar hadn't dropped a map. Now they have. Mortal, clearly. And CTG, like you say, will be feeling comfortable coming into this map. It was a map that they've been picking into throughout this cup as well. So, yeah, look, every possibility that they could make something happen here that would seem unprecedented. I had Morningstar as a big favorite. You certainly were leaning at least a little bit more towards CTG than I was, and maybe you'll still be proven correct in that as we get underway here on Dust 2. ProKiller trying to take the ball by the horns, and the ball's fought back. So Siki with the Glock gets it done, and that's the B site cracked open.
957 on an expedition into uppers. Doesn't go any better than ProKiller's little bit of a look in there. Maybe it's best to just steer clear. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Hacking or Laxu have got that memo. They're also going into uppers, and in window, Vance has been felled. So, look, they've at least got that player in backyard, but now they've got to kind of re-entry B, a bit of a role reversal for the CTs here. And it seems like Laxu was more interested in just keeping the Kevlar into the next round.
Yeah, Hacking's still sticking around, but he's off as well. See if he can grab himself a little bit more cash here. Suki welcoming the challenge. Nice little crouch there under the crosshair of Hacking, and Laxu very nearly spends his entire round saving just to give up the armor that he did so clearly want to take through.
That's a bit of a confidence booster for Morningstar after what was not a great game of Mirage. They're anticipating a force here. 5 rifles brought through. Maybe after seeing Laxu save that armor, they're really feeling like this is going to be an investment for CTG, but it won't be. That's ready with the flash here. One will be tested by Morningstar. A decent nade to start things off. There's the flash. Does catch Tasiki. Full white. Ruben to follow up, but there's no one to really help him. So if he goes down here, could be some trouble. Not to be the case, though, and well backed up now by his teammate. Although Vance has just connected like 4 USP headshots back to back to back to back. And he's got a Galil now. He's got the bomb. Oh, no.
Oh, Spine, don't do it. No, Spine, don't do it. 1v1. Oh, Molly, yeah,
what?
okay. Well, what
Get
did
your
you...
gun out, man. Oh, my God.
He's trying to do too much.
He's doing the 6-7 in Counter-Strike 2. Just juggling all his guns and his Molotov out. over on TikTok later.
Well, not exactly feeling like a grand final at the moment, is it? But we'll get there, I'm sure. Gun round to come here for both teams. No warp out just yet on either side, but it will be a big factor here on Dust 2, no doubt.
B timing, be prepped once again here from Morningstar. Pro Killer and 957 to hold things down, and so far so good. Spacing wasn't fantastic, but Suki coming out of that smoke and dealing with Pro Killer so cleanly is going to give them a chance here. It's the fast flood comes CTG. Only got one flash to do it. So instead they opt to, once again, try to go heavy through tunnels and approach the B retake that way.
Yeah, there's a good bit of util here for Morningstar still to play with. Suki could drop another smoke. He's going to have to use that actually to keep himself alive against the incense, so it won't actually help out too much on this defense of the site. Rage needs a couple. He's not going to get it. Suki forced to push his way out of his own smoke, and in the end, that is enough to get hacking in here, but I don't know about the defuse. A full 10-second defuse here. The bomb, I think it's going to explode.
Oh! He stuck it through. That's the confidence that makes you feel like he's got it every day of the week. Unfortunately, half the time when you call it that way, it ends up exploding. That's really the kill that changes things, isn't it? If Suki doesn't get such a clean re-entry package on Pro Killer coming out of the smoke there, then that is definitely not going to be a round that goes the way of Morningstar. But look, regardless, change the game, put the retake together. Took so much out of them, though, that Morningstar are definitely smelling blood in the water. Quick smokes to middle. And they're going to start making some moves towards Catwalk here. Will be blocked for the time being by Liksu.
It's not actually going to do too much. It's a little too deep there in middle. Quick progress up Cat. If you want to even go through that smoke on short, Rage is buying a bit of a distraction on long. Hacking though, doing well to try to hold on to the side. He's run down. Suki finds an AK and finds a double with it. 157. Not opting to push his way through the smoke right now, but as it fades, his position given away to Sasiki, who makes short work of him with the Khalil, and it's now just on Pro Killer. That'll be an easy one. That'll be a freebie. Our time is of the essence now. Does have a defuse kit. Ruben watching for the jump up at the trash pile, and 3-1's the score. Morningstar don't take too big of a loss after dropping that previous round.
Yeah, good recovery. Only 2 guns taken through, though, and CTG have got a bit of extra pocket money to at least buy some pistols into this one. Haven't even seen a single orb yet. That's very much saving for one into round 6, so that's where things will maybe change up a little bit.
No defense prepared here for long, so it will be an easy entry there for Morningstar, despite the fact that they do end up using quite a number of flashes.
Well, that's not where he wanted to smoke. Rage is caught with his pants down. Ruben, surprised he's sticking around this long. Definitely shouldn't have. That's 2 AKs going into CTG's hands. In the meantime, Morningstar will get into the A site, but things are getting a little bit tentative.
Suki should have probably done enough there to lock it in. Pro Killer, though, is a bit of an X-Factor player. He doesn't have any armor, which is going to make this job a bit more difficult, and he'll walk through his own smoke right into the crosshair of Spine. Easy does it. 4-2-1. Morningstar looking much better here on Dust 2 so far.
It's like another round where Pro Killer's just like second entry after the guy with the AK. just looks at Vance dying and waits like a good 2-3 seconds before he even attempts to trade. Make sure he picks up the AK. Seen him do that a couple of times this series. Back timeout coming out for Morningstar. Like I said, I mean, the pistol purchases have really put them through their paces there. That round's gotten more expensive than they would have wanted it to, and I think they recognize that this is a big swing round. Do or die. Last map of the Asia Cup. They just want to make it through to the Asia Pacific Finals nice and quickly after a slip up on Mirage. If they can get this T-side gun round on and just completely dominate this half, then they'll be in good stead to do so.
All right, Rage. What you got for us? Pretty poor performance on Mirage. 2 and 4 so far on the map here on Dust 2, but has the AWP in hand. I'm eager to see a little bit more of an Inferno-esque performance from him. Vance also trying to get in the mix early here with the AWP and misses that shot. Wants to go back for more, and that's a mistake.
Yeah, all on his lonesome. No real, like, backup in the setup either. That was really just a man trying to do it all himself. Unfortunately, he also was... I mean, it was him juggling the util before as well. He just, in general, is trying to do too much at the moment.
Reset. Morningstar. Happy with the opening pick.
No info or pushes been made anywhere on the map for CTG. Like, they're just dying a slow death, really. Don't mind the fact that they're just gamble stacking towards mid and B. I think if you see Morningstar take A here, they should probably just save.
Seems like that might be the thought process for CTG as well. You've got Hacking kind of looking to clear out B and back across. Maybe I've spoken too soon. Liksu does take the challenge. The rest of the force is still coming across, and Rage holding onto the bomb. Has to toss it over. He'll set himself up on long, but it's actually been enough damage done that this is now starting to get a bit worrisome actually for Morningstar. CTG have gotten away with far too much. Suki has to take the fight forward to Hacking. Pro Killer does fall to Rage. It's back into a favorable situation for Morningstar, but now with 957 grabbing that kill, anybody's guess. Rage can't afford to miss a shot and won't. 5-1. But way too close for Morningstar.
I mean, I don't even know how it got that close. The CTs were completely out of position. You had a player top middle that completely whiffed. It was maybe Ruben top middle, I'm not even sure. Like, positionally, Morningstar were in such a strong spot. They should have just pretty much rolled the rest of that round. I think one player just solo running up Cat got 2 or 3 kills by himself. Too many liberties being given to change the game right now, not gonna lie.
Yeah. But unfortunately, they're not really capitalizing on them. Here goes Liksu. Rage is keeping a bit of an eye on that one and will punish the push. Is he expecting a second? Apparently not. Oh, and Ruben bailed out of trouble there. Orb's been stolen by Vance. Suki's still lurking around, though. I wonder if Vance has heard him. Definitely,
yeah, they
keen on that line.
Seem like they want to clean him up in spawn here. Be another gun taken away. They'll save a rifle and an AWP here, and there's still legs in this half. It's not too bad for the CTs here, although Vance is once again posturing like they're going to go for this round. They don't even have a bloody kit. Yeah, that's a bit more sensible. Just leave Hacking around here. Money is not good for the T's. If Hacking even just takes one on the exit, that's great. Nice try.
Unable to do so.
Three surviving for Morningstar. It's a tentative lead. I mean, they've got 6 on the scoreboard no matter what. But money's anything but clean. change the game, bit of an economy swing, bring an AWP and a rifle into the next round. If they could just win 1 or 2 gun rounds back to back, they're well and truly back in business.
Rage. No connection. Thought he was lining one up there. There was multiple players trying to make the cross. Vance, though, pegs one back. Shows him how it's done.
Yeah, he's had a rougher day at the office, but if Vance could start to get warmed up with the AWP, he can make a difference. I was going to say, you're just crouch peeking into him. No flash at all. But I guess if you're going to triple dink him with the Galil through the wall, then go ahead, King.
Yeah. Spine still in transition with the bomb to get that plant down. It's a numbers deficit here for Morningstar, so it's not exactly a comfortable post plant. That's going to be exacerbated by the fact that it's not even a post plant just yet. 957 doing some real work here from short. And Pro Killer through the smoke will finish off Sasiki as well. That's a second up for CTG. And funnily enough, the money in a pretty bad spot here for Morningstar, despite the win streak that they had been on.
Yeah, they should just force to even up the money. But if this round doesn't go well, this is going to be a much closer half than what it started. And CTG has got a pretty decent B-side on this map, honestly. I think if they could just get like 4 or 5 on CT, they'll probably be happy enough and feeling decent enough they can close this one out. Oh, what a nade into lowers there. Lovely stuff from Vance.
Space taken already, though, by Morningstar out in middle. Like to. This timing will be important here, and it is perfect. 957 there to help out. That was the opening in the round that was on offer for Morningstar. If they would have won 1 or 2 of those duels, then certainly was on, but without either of them, unlikely. Rage. Just deleted by 957. Nothing happening in this round for Morningstar. Bit of a resurgence maybe from CTG at the back end of this half.
Yeah, for sure. They're well and truly back into it. Lexu's looking pretty lost there in middle. And Vance is, once again, really struggling to hit a shot. This would be one of the saddest 2-on-5s to concede ever, but yeah, they're putting the pieces back together, question mark.
I mean, a bomb plant at the very least is something. Bold play from Spine. Very bold. Not going to work out, surely not. Hacking in behind him on ramp. He's going to get one more. So a bit of extra damage. Bomb plant down. Not too mad about that if you're Morningstar.
I don't think it's going to net them a buy, though. Maybe Spine can get himself like a hero rifle or something, but still should be like tech armor next round. Or some pistols. I mean, yeah, they got kind of rolled by the crossfire, but not much more that you can do in a round like that. If you're not going to invest more heavily in utility, you are just going to try to miss and try to find a timing somewhere. And if it doesn't work, then GG go next.
What are we going to aim to achieve here? Another bomb plant potentially on the A site. All they'd really have to do is get an opener onto Vance and they'll be able to get a plant for short, or maybe just hope that Vance misses a couple of shots in on that transition. He won't though, even through the flashes. He's getting the job done. Beautiful little passage there from Vance. A nice 3K. Good bit of practice out for him.
Much closer looking half now. CTG have well and truly recovered. This is where Morningstar need to try to peg 1 or 2 in at the end of the half. Going for some long control now. Hacking under pressure, but sticking around and punish for it. Good entry from Ruben.
smoke for the cross on A. Not going to be utilized, I don't think, here by Morningstar. More than happy to just exit long, and 957 is kind of gambling that that's going to be the case as well. He just floats back out through that smoke, spots the info, takes a bit of a risk there for his team, but it kind of pays off. In terms of the information, at least.
Yeah, regroup to B here. Pro Killer's on his lonesome with no util, and he's not even playing inside the site now. So late rotation is looking pretty good for Morningstar.
Through 957 deleted by Saseki. Ruben seeing the shot, gonna have a chance at another one there, but like Zoo catches up with him before he can get himself prepared. Vance still eager for this retake. Look, it's a 2v3 retake. They've got money for the buy next round anyway, so they're gonna have a crack, but it doesn't really work out. 7-4, and the question becomes, are we seeing another 7-5 half here?
And that was rough. I mean, with hacking going down so early on in this round, it's a big duel for Ruben to win. Just denies any control over towards long, and I think changed the game. We're basically chasing ghosts for the rest of the round. Morningstar capitalizing with the B ending there. The same start. Rage this time sent onto the line with the AWP. Hacking. Punished for his greed in just the last round, but the util is going to at least secure bedroom control this time. AWP posted on that lowest line there. Vance boosted up yet again, and in fact, it is a double AWP here for change the game. Pro Killer posted on tunnels.
Oh, Vance. No chance to help out his mate Likes, who couldn't see anything. See if he can find a favorable exchange, but that's going to be tough when he's got multiple rifles headed in his direction. Still, the push is coming from Morningstar, and there's nothing the hacking can do about it either. This round is falling apart for CTG. Pro Killer spotted out. It's a nice shot onto Ruben. 1v2 now.
He's got too much ground to cover. They're not giving him anything. Timer continues to tick down. They're just going to trust the crossfire, and it should work out for him. Creeps up elevator. It's just too much to do. He's made noise, and yeah, double peak from Morningstar. So it's 2 right at the end of the half to make good on what was a decent streak from CTG. So 8-4 at the half, and we'll see who's going to win this cup right after the break.
Jumping back on into the second half, it'll be the final half of this grand final as well. Morningstar in a good position with the 8-4 lead that they've got themselves, but that doesn't necessarily translate into a map or series victory. We're still got to get it done here on the CT side.
Change the game. I've seen them play a very tricky T side on this map many, many times. I think Morningstar would be well aware of those tendencies. It's going to be quite similar to the T side of Mirage that you saw from Change the Game. A lot of layers, a lot of fakes, multi kind of layers of U-tilt. Trying to play with the rotations and sow some seeds of trickery. Slow approach once again. Starting to make their way towards mid doors now. Mid to B smoke comes out. Flash out onto the line, and they are speeding up the pace. It's a 3-stack on B to try to hold. Ruben starts things off well from window. Under a lot of pressure from 957 now, but there are so many CTs inside the site, and the T's are just not really making headway. Hacking last alive, trying to get his hands on the bomb, but he's worried about that CT push.
As he should be. Spine hasn't seen anything happen, so Suki pretty aware that the push hasn't come into B. Headshot does go through, and this is now where Hacking has a bit of a chance. Spine's just kind of toying with him. Maybe the barrel of the USP might have been spotted out there. Oh, Spine's dead, but Suki hits the headshot, had the Glock, so just at AD, getting it by.
No bomb plan for Change the Game. I've been talking about, you know, how I don't mind their T side on this map, but yeah, he really did just send it at him. Didn't even give a chance to react. But look, if it's going to be double digits post anti-eco for Morningstar, I'm not sure they're going to get much time to play a T side. Rage has got the alligator out in lower dark. It's down early in the piece though.
Where do you look?
He's got a lot to do. Oh, no.
He's got another one. He actually got the guy up on catwalk.
Respect. Oh, now look, Baz has inherited the not the best gift of all. Oh, there you go. Hold on. Could be on for an upset with the Deagles here.
Can't be doing that
for Vance.
No, can't be doing that against the Deagle. Not against Pro Killer. He's got insane first bullet accuracy.
He's just try-walked the B main smoke as well. Punished for doing so. Sasiki was on top of it. Got to expect the unexpected play against this guy. Vance has got a body knife out. Off angle from Spine will get it done. Bit of a heart stopper there for a few moments. Couple of good shots hit by CTG, but Morningstar will right the ship. If it did cost them quite a lot. Bang.
Yeah, nice shot. Buys yet to come, though, from CTG. And again, if it's going to get interesting, it has to happen here because time's running out for CTG already. Cross is safe. There's no AWP out on either side, to be fair.
Killer. Looking for an opener, trying to fight that B line. Does bait out a little bit of extra util from the B defense. Finish the game. Now making their way towards Cat. As they have forfeited long control to Spine for now.
Actually flashed onto the line on short. Going to prompt out a bit of util from Morningstar, so just the usual exchange of pleasantries to start things off in this round. Rage is keen for a fight. He's going to tuck himself up behind that smoke. Spine here to reinforce it. I dare say these two are going to come into play, whether by their own decision or CTG's. It's Spine that just decides he wants to go edging through that smoke. He'll catch Lagsu, and Rage helps him to get out alive. This round has gone very pear-shaped for CTG, and they don't even feel like they've really got the chance to play it.
I mean, this is how you want to play against CTG, though. It's a great first gun round for Morningstar. Felt like against this very tricky style, Morningstar will offer just kind of passages on Mirage, but this is exactly what you want to do against a team that is running these multi-layered executes. They're really working the map quite slowly, just pushing them in round. 50 seconds on the clock. You may, worst case, you make contact. Maybe you go 1-for-1. You get a little bit of info, and your teammates can react accordingly. Best case, you just get info for free and then just stack the other side. In that case, that short push just wins Morningstar the round outright. And when there's this room to work with for changing the game, I dare say this grand final's starting to get away from them. They're going to buy some pistols again. But you're getting quite concerned that this is going to be a pretty clean one, despite the fact that they were able to pick up Mirage.
Yeah, we had high hopes for Dust 2, didn't we? It's a map that CTG don't mind playing, but they just haven't really gotten it going at all. I think it raises more questions around Morningstar and what happened on Mirage, frankly, but regardless, I'll have to see whether or not they can close it out here.
They're nice guys. They thought they'd just let him have a map.
Yeah, fair enough.
Bit of philanthropy. There we go. Rage is up to his antics again. A nice nade. Hacking takes that as a bit of an invitation. To set himself up with a cheeky little pot flash there. I don't know if I've seen that before, and it's helped him to kind of lock that side down by himself. Likes to last alive, cleaned up by Spine. I mean, it's just not really competitive stuff from CTG right now.
No. Gun round to come, though. Vance has got the AWP out. Might be the last chance, obviously, for CTG. But at least they can go down swinging if they go down at all. Spray transfer, of course, from Rage in that one. And AWP's out on the side of Rage as well. Bit of a change up from the previous gun round. Looks like Rage wants to take the fight, which is no surprise. His tendency is extreme aggression. I mean, he's kind of... Is he kind of just giving me a little bit of a Dan King vibe? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. He's run straight up mid, 5 seconds into the round. 1-for-1 over towards the B side of the map, but likes to low on HP. If he drops the bot in B tunnels, this game is over. Wants to let some of the other lads play their way into the round. Vance has taken long control, but they're very split up here. I just don't know how the pieces are going to come together.
ooh. Another one for Rage. And yeah, you're right. That's, I think, going to be a tough one to retrieve with the position that Spine's got himself into. I think the bomb's dropped on top of Xbox. But might not even come down to retrieving the bomb. Rage is just putting on a clinic with the AWP, and this is going to be the anticlimax of all anticlimaxes. Hacking's now been spotted out, and CT's looking for him, hunting and finishing 13-4. Morningstar will close out a pretty swift Dust 2, and yeah, I mean, ultimately, a bit of an anticlimax of a map, really. It would have been a bit more fun, I guess, if we had Mirage as the decider there, because that one was at least close and interesting, but this was a walk in the park for Morningstar.
Yeah, I feel like, if anything, they're the ones that just kind of switched off on the second map, and outside of that, they have kind of smashed everybody else in this competition, so credit to Morningstar, the rightful victors. They've been the favorites throughout the whole bracket the whole time. Top 3 teams, all Chinese teams. So look, as we head through the rest of the year, have a look at some of the other cups. I want to see if some of the Mongolian teams are going to start to do a little bit better for themselves. Maybe we'll get a couple more of the big dogs in the region in this cup. We didn't have any Linvision, Rare Atom, Tai Lu, these kind of teams. See if they're going to start to participate. There's some new Mongolian teams on the rise as well. So a lot happening in the Asia scene, but regardless, Morningstar continue to rocket up the VRS, and they've secured themselves a spot in the APAC finals.
Yeah, indeed, which is really cool to see. They'll join Thunder Down Under. It is an Asia Pacific regional final as well this year, as opposed to the 2 separate regional finals, one for OS, one for Asia. So I think that's going to be fun. I mean, I'm sure we'll have a smattering of other OS teams. Certainly Semperfi will want to have a crack at that when they come back, and you'll be seeing potentially some more Asian representation beyond just Morningstar. Again, who knows what's happening with Tyloo, Linvision, if they want to play one of these cups in the future as well. There's an opportunity in the lead up to sort of July that they will do that. But yeah, overall, I have to say, pretty solid stuff. I think from Morningstar there, a bit of a blip in the radar, obviously dropping a map in this grand final to CTG. But, you know, it feels like just in general, Morningstar are going from strength to strength at the moment, which is pretty cool to see. They have really started to come onto my radar, you know, early on in 2026. And the fact that they're continuing to find these wins and put themselves in positions to maybe even qualify for the major, I think is definitely something that warrants a bit of a look in their direction. And on one hand, kind of hoping that nothing happens to this team in terms of players getting picked up and picked apart. But on the other hand, you know, I think it'd be cool to see a bit of a refresh around the rest of the Chinese scene as well, with Lin Vision, I think, definitely needing some changes, and Rare Atom, I could, you know, argue for the same. So pretty, you know, neither here nor there necessarily what happens, whether or not it's Morningstar as a core that goes through and does some good work, or if the individual pieces go elsewhere. I think there's definitely a lot of interesting talent to be keeping a bit of an eye on as we go into the deeper parts of the first season of 2026.
Yeah, for sure. So look, change the game. Another top 4 from them in a domestic tournament. It's a good thing that this core is sticking together even after conceding 0 over to Tai Lu. They're continuing to go from strength to strength, and definitely got my eyes on them in the domestic scene. Good debut from ProKiller, top 3 player in this event from 15 maps. He's put up a 1.4 rating, so that's definitely one to keep an eye on in the future.
Yeah, most certainly. But that'll be all we have for you guys tonight. That's the end of the Asia Cup #1 for ESL Challenger League. There will be another one in about a month's time, so make sure you tune back in for that one if you want to carry on with the story here between CTG, Morningstar, and all the other teams in Asia. For now, though, we'll have to bid you a good night, and we'll catch you next time. Suki to strike. He's looking for a second in pit. Also